Hi, my name again is Joyce Laituri. I'm the marketing and PR person at Spyderco, and we're going to discuss knife steels. And I will explain to you what Spyderco is using and the reasons why we're using it, and maybe touch briefly on the elements and the performance levels of some of those steels. Our business right now, all of our USA-made products, we are using a Crucible powdered steel. Crucible is a foundry in upstate New York. It is an American steel company. Knife industry standards are higher than ever this year, and Crucible or powdered steel seem to be leading the way. Powderized technology allows you to cold press the steel, and it also allows the manufacturer to include great quantities of carbon and other materials, which translates to a manufacturer of knives as high performance, long edge retention, and greater performance for especially people in the field. That's very applicable at this time to our U.S. military. We offer CPM S30V steel blades, CPM S90V blades. We're working on CPM S35VN, which is a new niobium steel that comes out of Crucible. We're also doing some work with a fairly new to the knife industry company called Carpenter Steel. Carpenter is producing steels similar to what Crucible is producing, and you will see a lot of those in the industry this year. Carpenter is making a grand entrance into the knife world this year, and I think you're going to find not just Spyderco, but several other companies are utilizing their product.
I imagine because they're properties, they must be more difficult to shape and sharpen?
They are more difficult to manufacture. Yes, certainly as a manufacturer, they're much more labor intensive and machinery intensive to create the finished product. As an inline user, again, I think you'll find that they stay sharper longer by virtue of the fact that their elements include more carbon and more ingredients that are designed for keeping that knife sharper longer. Harder, Rockwell hardnesses reach a higher level. Our machining capabilities at Spyderco, we find, are probably, we can do maybe about 2/3 as many Crucible blades on a grinder as we could another type of steel that's not as high. They literally do, right. It takes a wonderful serrated edge, also works well in a plain edge. And again, I think that's a competitive thing in our knife industry right now. Steel is the spirit of the knife, is sort of how we put that the knife is only as good as its cutting ability, since that's the tool that you're purchasing. So that is a hugely important part of the Spyderco product. Crucibles.
Awesome, we really appreciate that. Yeah. We get a lot of questions on it, and I think it helped people that are making a buying decision to appreciate the materials that go into these.
Keep your eyes open for Carpenter steels. They're really coming out on the market. I do want to show you one other steel here. Another steel that is proprietary to Spyderco. Crucible steels are not proprietary to Spyderco, but one thing that Spyderco does carry that other knife manufacturers right now are not is a steel called H1. H1 is offered on our entire Salt series line. We offer a series of folders and fixed blades that are made using this steel. H1 is a Japanese steel that is a nitrogen-based alloy as opposed to a carbon-based alloy. And what that translates into for the user is that the lack of carbon essentially equals no rust, because carbon and chloride meet, they like each other, they're wild about each other. The end product of that is rust. So by taking carbon out of the equation and replacing that with nitrogen, we've removed that possibility. They are 100% rust-free folders that we do offer in plain edge and serrated edges in a variety of folders and fixed blades. All manufacturing components, internal components, rivets, clips are titanium or H1, so they truly are from the inside out a completely rust-free product. Right now they're selling extremely well in the commercial fishing industry. They're selling well in the scuba diving industry. Any place where someone is using their knife around water in a humid environment, or even the knife user that isn't particularly vigilant about washing them off with fresh water and taking care of them. That's a great option. We do offer our folding knives in both yellow or black, marine yellow or black, and they come with a plain edge or a serrated edge.
So would it still be considered stainless steel?
it's not considered a stainless steel.
Because of the
And
makeup.
It's kind of an animal unto itself, really. H1 is a very unique property. We do find that through testing, we've discovered it work hardens. So when we put it through a process of serrating the blade, it actually, when it exposes that to the friction of some type of process, it actually hardens the steel further. So the Rockwell hardness does rise to a little bit higher level than from a plain edge to a serrated edge. Again, we released these about 6 years ago, and interestingly enough, we've been at some shows recently where we've had a customer standing at a counter saying, "Tell me the benefits of H1," and had another customer who's carried it for a while walk up and actually do the sale for us. So it's starting to speak for itself, and I think it's a great addition to Spyderco's product line. All of our products obviously are high performance, but this one is directly related to using in and around water.
And I'm assuming it's going to also be resilient to some of the other chemicals and things that people might encounter.
This is true, and if you were to, a lot of people will ask us, what would you compare that to performance-wise for other steels? It head-to-heads easily with our other high-carbon Japanese steels, like VG10, 440C. Any of these steels definitely go head-to-head.
Except that it doesn't rust.
Except that it can't rust.
It's really neat to know that they're working on innovation as well as just design.
Well, I think Spyderco does something that I know every knife company in this industry does, is we take a look at what the issues or problems are in the industry, what needs our customers have, what environments they're using cutting tools in, where they're taking those cutting tools, what laws and legal parameters are out there for carrying pocket knives and fixed blade knives right now. And all of us are doing, I think, an excellent job of fitting something to the customer. And every customer is a little bit different. What works, obviously, for a man or a woman that might be on a coast using it as a fishing knife might not be something that a backcountry skier is interested in. So variety is a good way, I think, to not only appeal to a certain customer base, but maybe appeal to the military base, the gardening base, the outdoor person who likes to whittle, every person across there. I like to say at Spyderco, all good, just different. And our competitors are making some incredibly fabulous products right now. There's some great innovation going on in our industry, and we are, I like to think, part of that, but at the same time, we're pretty short-sighted. We have a tunnel view of what we hope to achieve, and that is building the best possible knife for our inline user, and that can change on a minute basis, on a yearly basis, on a decade basis. And that shows, I think, in our product line too, that we have some products that have been pretty much unchanged in our product line since 1980. And of course, we release about 35 new products per year. So that's a lot of products for a 38-person company. We're a very small company.
Really, 38? Wow.
38 people.
That's awesome.
We currently make about 25% of our entire product line in our Golden, Colorado, USA factory. About 70% is produced in Japan, and the remaining percentage, couple in Europe, and we're working with a couple makers in Taiwan right now too. So it's our U.S. production, again, is about 25%. That's done by 10 people, a crew of 10 people.
And I imagine that aids a lot to quality control, because people are aware of what's going on. And
we're a very hands-on company, and whether we produce it or it comes in our front door from one of our other makers, everything is quality control inspected, and we expect a lot of ourselves, and we expect a lot of our vendors too. So. I warned you guys.
It was a good one.
You get me talking.
That's going to be a good one.